Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to convert JSON string into struct type using from underscore JSON in PySpark. So first we'll see from underscore JSON is used to convert JSON string into either struct type or map type. Suppose if you have JSON in the form of string format, so then by using from underscore JSON, you can convert to this type. So if the string is unparsable, then it will returns null value. So how this from underscore JSON function works is, so in this sequence. So first we need to define the schema if it is a struct type or array type. So depends on your data. So you need to define the schema. Then apply from underscore JSON. So you need to pass the column name inside that and you need to provide the schema. So what it returns is after applying from underscore JSON, so you can extract struct or array fields. So now if you see the syntax from underscore JSON, so we need to pass the column and we need to define schema and you have options here. So in this set, so you can pass this many parameters here. So options is allow unquote field names, allow single quotes. Okay, so like this we have many options, but in this video, so I'm going to cover only this one mode. So permissive, drop, malformed, and fail fast. So first we'll see what is JSON format. So JSON format is meaning, so expansion JSON expansion is JavaScript object notation. So data is in name value pairs. So that means it will be in key value pairs. And data is separated by commas and it holds curly braces. So that means at the starting and the end of the JSON, so it will be placed with curly braces. And if it is JSON inside, if you find square brackets, then we can consider as arrays. So if it is curly braces, then we can call as objects. If it is square brackets, we can call as arrays. So first we'll see some examples. How to use from underscore JSON function. So before that, I'm importing required functions. So mainly from underscore JSON, explode, and for creating schema from SQL.types, I'm importing all relevant data types here. So first we'll see what is the basic usage with struct type. So mainly what is this function does is, so it will convert a JSON string into struct type. So this example we'll see how it will convert JSON string into struct type. So for that I'm creating one sample data frame here. So if you observe here our data, so as per our definition, see curly braces. Okay, so if you see here, so this is starting and ending. We have curly braces and it holds the data with key value pair. See here, this is one key value pair. This is one key value. This is one key value. And at the starting and ending, you will see single quote. So that means up to here from curly brace to curly brace, that is JSON format. And from single quote to single quote, this we can call as JSON string because this JSON in the form of string. Okay, so I'm going to create with this column name JSON underscore string and here I'm defining the schema here for this particular data frame. So from underscore JSON function, so mainly we'll use for defining the schema. So there are some other options are there. We can use without using from means without defining schema. Okay, so why we are using from underscore JSON is, so whenever you need to define the schema, so that time we'll use from underscore JSON. So here I'm using struct type for defining the schema, and inside that I'm using struct field. So what is my first column name? That is name. So that name is string type. You see here string type, and true means it allows duplicates. Means okay. So true means it won't allow duplicates. False means it will allow the duplicates. So next, what is the column name? Age, and this is integer. See here age integer type, and next third column is city, and this is string type. So here what I'm doing, so based on this data frame, I'm using with column, and here I'm using from underscore JSON function, and inside that I'm passing column and schema I'm defining. So if I create a data frame, see here, initially while you create data frame, so that means this one, this data frame is only in this column. Okay, so later we are applying j from underscore JSON, that column is JSON underscore data. So this is our input data frame, and this is our output. And if you see here data types, so our initial is a string. So that is this JSON string. And what it converting is struct type. So here this data type is struct type. Here it will show you, see struct, and inside that name is string, age is integer, city is string. And whatever inside is there, columns, mainly name, age, city. So here is showing what is their data types. Okay, next, if you see this input, see here, this is our JSON. So curly brace, starting and ending. And after converting to struct type, if you expand this, see here, since it is JSON string, it is single line. After converting to struct type, see here, now it converted to object, and it divided into key value pair. Okay, so after converting this, you can extract the values, these values. So, and you can expand and see each and every row here. See here, this one is converted into struct type. So what is our basic definition? It will convert JSON string into struct type. And later what we can do is we can extract the fields. So there are two methods you can use it. So if you want to extract all the columns at a time, so you can use df.select and JSON underscore data. So that means this one, JSON underscore data, and I'm giving dot star. So dot star means it will extract all the columns. All the columns means here on name, age, city. Suppose if you want to extract only specific columns, then you can use select method, call column name. So if you see here, this column name, JSON underscore data, on that I want name. So JSON underscore data dot name. See here, JSON underscore data dot name. So if you want age means JSON underscore data dot age, then JSON underscore data dot city. Okay, so like this you can extract the fields. So there are two methods. So now first we'll see by using star method. See here from this data frame, if you see this one, from this, what I'm doing, I'm using select method. And from there, I want to extract all these columns. That means JSON underscore is this one. So our main data frame is this one. Dot select and this column, and I'm giving star. So that means it will extract all the columns. See here, if I give star, see here all the columns it extracting. If you see name, if you see this particular name, and if you see here name, see here Albert, Bobby, Swapna, David, Anand, Bhaskar. See here, this is extracting. Similar way, age. So age, so this age, these values it will extract. So similar way, if you go for city, so these values it will extract. So that it is giving here. And the second method is by using select, and inside that you are selecting individual. So this is our column name JSON underscore data, and inside that key value. So that is name. So JSON underscore data dot eh, JSON underscore data dot city, and I given alias since we are giving select. Okay, so this is second method for extracting the data. So now we saw simple JSON string. Now we'll see how to convert nested JSON. If you see here, nested JSON, see at the starting and ending, we have curly braces. So that means it is JSON. But if you see inside, we have two key value pairs. And third key is info. But if you see value, so again starting and ending with curly braces. So that means this is main JSON, and inside that we have one more JSON. So that will call as nested JSON. So if I create this data frame by using spark.create data frame, and our initial input is this one, this column. Okay, JSON string. So if you see here, curly brace, two key value pairs, and third one with nested one. So on top of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use from underscore JSON on this column, JSON underscore string, and I'm defining schema here, nested underscore schema. So this nested underscore schema I defined here. So how I define struct type, and inside that struct field. So my struct first field is ID. So ID is integer type. Next struct field is info. So here I'm extracting only ID. So here I'm not defining name. So you can define name also here. So you can add name also here. So suppose I copy this one and you can enter here name. So, but this is string type. String type. Okay, so ID, next name is string type. Next, if you come to info, see here for info, first struct field and column name is info. And again, inside we are creating struct type. Why? Because again, JSON is there. Okay, so since JSON is there, I am defining struct type, and inside that, see, this is tuple, and inside that we have total 3 we have, but I defined only 2, city pin I given. So I will add experience also here. So total 3 we have. So experience, and this is integer type. Okay, so first one is experience, next city, so that is string type, next pin, that is integer type. Okay, so now schema is defined. So after defining schema, I am applying this JSON underscore from underscore JSON function. So now if I run this data frame and you see the difference. See, this is our JSON string and it converted here into struct type. You see here ID, name, and this info. So if you try to expand this one, see here, this is object type, and at the initial means first level, we have two columns, ID and name. And the third one is info. So this is nested one. So, and under info, we have three things. One is experience, city, pin. So if you expand each and every one, so it will be in same structure. Okay, so similar way, you can check your data types also here. So initially it was string, then it is a struct type, and inside that you can see. So since this is first level JSON, uh, struct type is there, and at first level we have two columns. See, these two columns have integer and string type, and inside that nested structure is this one, info nested JSON. So that's why it again struct type, and these elements experience city pin, so it has their own data type. So this is first level, this is second level. Okay, so now how to extract these elements? So I want to extract only first these two columns, next these three columns. Okay, total 5 columns I want to extract. So how I can do? So this data frame, this is the data frame, this one, df underscore nested, df underscore nested parsed. So that means this one. Okay, so in this I am giving dot select, and inside that I am selecting the column. So this is my first column name, JSON underscore data. Since it is first level, so I can directly select it. JSON underscore data dot ID, JSON underscore data dot name. So that is given here, JSON underscore data dot ID, JSON underscore data dot name. And if you want to extract these three columns, since it is a nested level, how we can extract is JSON underscore data dot info. So next one is info, then dot experience. So if you see here, JSON underscore data, next this info, next experience. Okay, so first one is experience, second one is city, third one is pin. So if you run this one, so it will extract all the 5 columns here. Okay, so next type is array of JSON objects. So why this is array of JSON objects is, in previous example, we saw this one. So how it was there? Single JSON. See, that means up to here. So up to here, so inside that we have key value pair, and inside also we have one JSON. So first one is simple JSON, flat JSON, and next we saw nested JSON. Now we are going to see array of JSON. So that means it starting, no, this is square bracket is there, starting and ending. So that means that is array. So array of again this JSON. So here we have two JSONs here, two JSON records. So this is one JSON and this is one JSON. Okay, so like this data is created, and that's why we're calling as array of JSON objects. So I'm creating a data frame by using create data frame, and column name I'm giving as JSON underscore string. And this is my initial JSON underscore string column. So this is JSON strings. So on top of that, what I'm doing is I'm defining the schema. So if you see earlier, we directly started with struct type. Okay, why? Because we don't have square bracket. That means that is not array type. But here, since this is array type, so first we are starting with array type, and inside that is starting with struct type. So that's why given struct type, and inside struct type, we have two fields. One is name and age. So first struct field is name, and the second one is age. So name is a string, age is integer. Okay, so that's how it is defined. So array type and inside that struct type. So next from underscore JSON. So I'm pausing this column JSON underscore string, and I'm pausing this schema here, array underscore schema. So if I create this, see here, so it converted to struct type, JSON string to struct type. If you try to expand this one, see here, first one is array. If you see earlier, we have this is object. So now this is array of JSON. So first it started with array, then index is starting. See here, this is 0, this is 1. Why? Because we have two JSONs here inside. So this is one JSON, that is 0, and this is one more JSON, because array will store in the form of index. So array, it will start with 0 and 1. So since we have two JSONs inside, so here we are getting 0, 1. So if we have, suppose here 4 JSONs, so here 2 is there. If you have two more, then you will get here 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so next inside key value pair is this one, name, age. So that we are getting here. See here, name, age. This is key value pair. And you can check all records will be like this. And you can check data type also here. Initial, it is string. Next, it is array, struct, and inside that data types. But if you see earlier, initial, that is a struct, then individual data types. So it varies, it depends on what type of data you are passing here. So next we'll see how to extract data. So this is our data frame. So on top of that, I'm using with column, and I'm giving column name as person, and here I'm using explode. So why I'm using explode here is, so earlier case, we have struct type. So struct type, we can directly access the elements. Since it is array type, so if you want to explode this, if you want to flatten this array, so we have to use explode option. So explode, and column name we are giving this column. So JSON underscore data. So explode JSON underscore data. So first we are exploding this, and after exploding, I am extracting the columns. If you see here, select select person. So this column name is person, and inside that we have two columns, name and age. So that we are getting here. So if you want to see further, what I will do is I will select this person column also. It will be easy to understand. So before that, I will run this data frame once. So later we'll run that. Okay, so now I will run this one. So now I will get three columns. So first one is person. So what is this person is? So whatever it exploded, no? So after, so initial our shape is this one. Okay, initial our shape is this one, array, and inside array we have two index. That means two JSONs we have. So this is one and this is one. So if you do explode, what will happen? It will do flatten. So array elements, it will do flatten. See here, if you expand this, see we have object type. Now type is object. But if you see here, array, and we have 0, 1. So this one, after doing explode, what it doing is we are getting object, and we are getting directly those elements. And on top of that, what it does is, so name, age. Okay, so here we are getting name, age. So each, that means if you see here, one record it converting to two records. Okay, so if you try to expand this, okay, so name age, so one array it converting to two. So total we have 10 records. So now here there should be 20 rows here, 20 records. So that means, so if you see this particular row, so this coming as one row and this coming as second row. So one array it converting to two records and total 10 into 2, 20 records will get. So this column we are getting those 20 records. And if you see here, struct type. Okay, but if you see here, what is your data type here is array. So now it converted from array to struct type here. So after converting to struct type, you can extract your elements here. So that's what here inside select. This is my column name person. And from this, I'm extracting name. So person dot name. And similar way person dot age. So here we are getting those two columns. Okay, so you had to understand these types. So first level, what is there after applying explode, what type it converted. Okay, so for array of objects, you cannot directly extract the columns. You have to follow these steps. Next, using from underscore JSON with maps. So as of now, we created key value pair struct type. And here we are going to create map type. So here this is same starting and ending with flower bracket. And if you see here, this is one key value pair and this is one key value pair. Okay, so map type means you will be having key value pair type. So if I create this data frame by using create data frame, and if you see the result here, see we are getting same records. So flower is starting with flower bracket, ID 1 and score. It has inside. And if you see the data type, see here our first one is JSON string. So after applying this from underscore JSON, it converting to struct type. So now we'll see how to define schema. So since it is struct type, here since it is struct, so it's starting with flower bracket. So struct type, and inside that we have two fields. One is ID, so ID is integer type, and score is there. If you see this score, this is map type. See here for score, we have again key value pair. Okay, so this is map type. So that's why I'm mentioning here map type. And inside map type, so we have two types, string type and integer type. So that means our key is string type, our value is integer type. So that's why two data types are given. So whenever you pass map type, so you have to pass two data types here. So you cannot pass more than that. So, and at the same time, your key values should be in entire map, you should follow key as string, value as integer. So then only it will work. So if you give suppose here string, then it won't work. So after applying from underscore JSON on this column and after applying this schema map, if you see here, this JSON string it converted to struct type and we have ID. So first one is ID that is with integer, ID with integer. Next is scores is there. This scores and what is the type? Map type. So since we defined here no map type. So that is map type. So that is map type and inside map we have key value as string and integer. Okay, so this is our JSON string and it converted to struct type. See here, first one is ID and this is object. Since it is struct type, this is object. And inside that, this is scores is map. And again, we have key value pair. So now what I'm doing, so for struct type and map type, so you can directly access the elements. So on this data frame dot select JSON underscore data. So this is my column name and first my column is ID. So JSON underscore data dot ID. And if you want to get these two, so I given JSON underscore data dot what I given is scores. JSON underscore scores. Okay, so that means this one. So why we are not able to extract directly? So this is map type, no? So I given this scores. Okay, so what is this score? Since it is map type, see here we are getting this scores as map type. See here. Now this is object and we have two key value pair. Okay, so next we'll see nested JSON string. So earlier we defined in different method. So that means it starting with array and inside that we defined tuple. But here what I'm doing, I'm starting with a triple quote, then I'm giving flower bracket. So that means JSON string. So from here to here, this is JSON, here to here. Since it is given triple quote, so this is JSON string. So inside that we have two columns, name and JSON, JH, and again we have one more JSON. So that's why this is nested JSON. So I am creating this data frame, but if you see here, earlier we used to give only data. So since this is a string, so I'm giving here array. So array and inside the tuple, in tuple, I'm giving this string name and comma. So for tuple, you cannot pass single element, so single column. So that's why I given comma here. So array tuple. So next, on top of that, I'm defining the schema. So this we already saw, say same example, how this schema is defined for this nested JSON. So if I apply from underscore JSON on top of this, so if you see here, this is our initial JSON string. See here, flower bracket to flower bracket. So this one, it converted to struct type. So if you try to expand this, see here, this one string, and if you see here object type, and first level we have two columns, and in nested level, this is nested level is address, and here we have three columns. Okay, so if I try to expand this one, so up to here, so up to here means after applying from underscore JSON, that is this one. So on top of this, so I'm going to extract the columns. So now, since this is struct type, so we can directly extract it by using select method. So JSON underscore data, and if you see here name age, so this is first level. If you see here name age, so this is first level, and second level is JSON underscore data dot address dot street. Okay, so if you see here JSON underscore data address dot street. So similar way city zip. Okay, so like this you can extract this data here. Okay, so next, how to handling error. So whenever you get invalid JSON, then how to handle. So when JSON strings are invalid, then from underscore JSON, it returns nulls. So if you see the example, so first I'm passing the schema here. So I have two columns, name and age, and this is my sample data frame. Sample data I'm passing here. So here I given comment, these two are invalid JSON. So why these two are invalid JSON is, so if you see here, first one is key value pair is there, but here only key is there, but value is not defined. See, nothing is given, empty. So here also same thing. So that's why I'll call as invalid JSON. So if I try to create this data frame, so this is my thing. See here, age here and here it is empty. Value is empty. So here by using from underscore JSON, and I'm pausing this column JSON underscore string, and I'm pausing this schema here, JSON underscore schema. So that schema I'm pausing here. So if you observe here, see wherever invalid JSON is there, see here this one and this one, see we are getting nulls here. See here, for actually for age, we don't have value, but still it giving nulls for all the things. So if we expand this here, name is null, age is null. Since even though for name, we have value here, but it considering entire thing as null. So if you see at our initial explanation, so it is mentioned that whenever you pass invalid JSON, you will get nulls. So similar way, you will get here also. So name and age, null. So next one is how to handle missing or corrupt data. So as I told initial, so we have three types of data, three types of options we have handling bad records. So in mode type, we have three things. One is permissive, second one is drop malformed, third one is fail fast. So now we'll see one by one how to handle this one. So in this first one, we are going with permissive. So this permissive is the default mode in Spark. So whether you explicitly set mode as permissive or omit it, the behavior is the same. So if any malformed rows are there, then it will pass as null. If any missing fields are there, this passed as null in the struct. So we already saw, so whenever missing fields are there, it will pass null. So now we'll see how to use this permissive. So here what I'm doing, I created one data here for creating a data frame. So here, if you see first one, this is valid one because all the key value pairs are passed. And if you see second one, valid but missing fields. If you see here, three key value pairs are given, but actually we have two more. Okay, so two more that is not passed here. And the third one is malformed JSON. So that means if you see here, this is key and here value. Okay, and we don't have floor bracket. If you see here, see it ended with floor bracket, but here we don't have. We don't have floor bracket and we don't have single quote also. So that means this is malformed JSON. And here I'm defining schema. So I'm defining schema for all the columns, name, age, student, score, address. For all the columns, I defined schema. So now what I'm doing, so on top of this one, I'm using with column. So JSON underscore data. So here I'm using from underscore JSON on data column, on this data column, and I'm applying schema. Okay, so usually we'll pass these two, so column name and schema. Now we are passing this mode also. So mode as permissive. So this is optional. Okay, so if you are passing permissive, so it's not compulsory to mention here. Since it is a default behavior, so normally no need to pass this one. So for just for representation, I am uh, using this option here. And after doing this mode, so this our method is again same, extracting the data. And if you see here, our data, so this is our initial data, and after applying from underscore JSON, so this is our result after applying from underscore JSON. So if you see here, this address, we are getting null. So name Ramesh 30. So name Ramesh 30. And since we have null, we are getting null. So next we'll check for second one. If you check for second record, see here we are getting score and address both as null, because if you see here in second, our JSON format is valid, but missing the fields. So this score and address, we are not defined here. So that's why we are getting score and address as nulls. And third one is, if you see here, we are getting all nulls. Why? Because this is not invalid JSON format. This is malformed, because as I told earlier, so here we don't have closed floor bracket and single quote. So even though if we have passed all these three records correctly, but since you were not completed this one, floor bracket and single quote, it will make all the values as nulls. See here, name, age, everything it printing as null. Okay, so since it is invalid JSON. So now on top of these values, so here we are extracting the values by using this one. So we are getting these columns. Okay, so all the columns we are getting here. And if you see third one, since we have all nulls, here we are getting all nulls here. Okay, so next we'll see fail fast. So fail fast means Spark will immediately throw an error if it encounters malformed JSON. So if a JSON is valid, but some fields are missing, it will not fail. Missing fields just become null. So we already saw. So this example, so everything is correct, but only thing is these two fields are missed. So those case, it will not fail. So it will just become null. So those two records will print as null. So fail fast, what it does is, if it encounters any malformed JSON, suppose like this, so it will immediately throw an error. So if you see here, same thing, schema is defined here as previous cell. And the only difference is, instead of permissive, here I mentioned fail fast. So if you run this one, it will throw error. So it will throw an error on malformed JSON. So since our JSON here, it is malformed, so it throwing error, and it see here it giving error as malformed records are detected in record parsing. Okay, so here is showing all the nulls. That is last one. So, and it proposing, so this one, since because of this one record, this entire thing is failing. And it's suggesting that currently parse mode is fail fast to process small form records as null result instead of failing. So it's suggesting try to setting the option mode as permissive. Okay, so instead of fail fast, it asking to suggesting to set as permissive. Next, final one is drop malformed. So what it means is drops the whole row if any parsing error occurs. So drop malformed drops malformed JSON rows. That means sets parsed column to null. So missing fields do not count as malformed. They will just be null in the parsed structure. So that means the third point is this one. Missing fields means this one. So what it telling? So it will simply print null for these two records. So our main malformed is this one. But in Databricks, currently, problem is once you mention mode as drop malformed, so currently in Databricks, it is not supporting. So you will get error here like the function from underscore JSON does not support the drop malformed mode. So acceptable modes are permissive and fail fast. So currently it's supporting only 2 and this drop malformed, it is not supporting. So that's all about this video, how to use from underscore JSON and different options like this mode types. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.